Hello, students. This is Professor Calderon again. I teach screenwriting. Of course, there's a lot more to screenwriting that I can tell you in this very short video, but I'm going to give you some brief tips for those of you who've never written a scene before that should help you write this. So for this 72-hour film challenge, you really need to write fast or go home. One of the two. And I say that because you have to have your script written, hopefully in one evening, so that you can give it to the director that same evening and he can do what he has to do to get the crew ready. Okay, so write fast or go home. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is this scene about? What is it about? When you're conceiving this scene, it's going to be about what? You need to be able to say it in a short sentence. This scene is about a young doctor who's trying to save the life of a young man by finding a donor. Okay, that's a very short sentence. I just made it up. I'm going to go with it. So, who's the protagonist? Of course, in this one, it's the doctor, a young doctor, right? Now, why do we need a protagonist? Because this is the character your audience will like. This is the one you want them to cheer for. It doesn't have to be a hero. It can be an anti-hero, a dark, brooding sort of character, someone who's not necessarily a good guy. But either way, your audience needs to know who they're cheering for. So we need to know, what does he need in this scene? What is it that your protagonist needs? And what is at risk? Why does he need it? Okay, we need to know this so that we understand the magnitude of what's at stake here if they do not achieve this goal. So we also need to know who or what is the antagonist. It can be another person that's standing directly opposed to them. Maybe our young doctor who wants to save the patient, he has to butt up against the hospital administrator who says, hey, this young guy doesn't have enough money or insurance to pay for this expensive procedure that will spare his life, and we're not going to do it. And so the doctor has to bump heads against him to save this young boy's life. Whatever it is, you need to come up with a good antagonist that's going to directly oppose your protagonist, right? He's going to frustrate the efforts that your protagonist goes through to achieve his goal. Okay? Now you need to ask yourself, what needs to happen in this scene? The protagonist and antagonist needs to come face to face. If that doesn't happen, the scene falls flat. The faster that happens, the more satisfied we get. We're hooked and we're getting the meat and potatoes of the scene. Now you have to ask yourself the setting. Where does it take place? The dialogue. How do they speak? The action. What do they do in this scene? Do they dance it out? Is it a breakdancing competition and whoever can do a head spin wins? Are they going to argue and if erupt into a physical fight? What happens? What is the action? Okay. And then now you need a resolution. Who wins? Does the hospital administrator wins and the young boy dies? Or does the young doctor win and he gets the boys the saving the organ that he needs or to do the procedure? You need to decide that. Okay. Again, you have to write fast or go home.